yourself, but then educating others, learning the truth, and then bringing it to us so that we can digest it and begin to transform ourselves. Um, and that's why it's difficult to pigeonhole her knowledge base into just African, our story, Asian, our story, because it's so encompassing. There's so much involved in that, you know? You'll get stories from her life, stories from things that she's learned in the process through her own research. Stories where it's not just about the information you get, but the journey you go through as you're learning a specific account, so that you can then gain the story at the end of it, gain the lesson at the end of it. So it's hard to pigeonhole even what you would call this kind of experience. So again, without further delays, I want to introduce Bayyinah Bello.
Lunaire, Alafia, Ota, Sanu, welcome to this sharing as companions. All embody the knowledge of the cosmos. But we have been taught that we knew nothing unless we went to their schools, their church, their systems. But that is not the fact. The fact is, we know it all already. But we have been made unconscious of that which we know. May I ask those who are selling, those who are taking care of their personal business, to do this in a more quiet way for the little time that we will be sharing here. We would greatly appreciate that those moneymakers, that they deal in a lower volume, please. We want you to make money. Money is important. But for just this little time, for 2 hours we'll be together, for 90 minutes. Okay? Let's do it in a lower volume. Thank you very much. Highly appreciate. All right, so we were saying, the number one mind changer we must do for ourselves. Each one of us is responsible. Nobody is going to make it for you. No one is going to change you but yourself. But for you to change, you have to know what to change. A perception that you don't know is wrong. You know. In your DNA, you have all the knowledge that your father and mother had, the knowledge your 4 grandparents had, the knowledge your 8 great-grandparents had, the knowledge your 16 great-great-grandparents had, etc., etc., all the way to the Creator. You know it all, but you've been made to think that you don't. So let's see, how do we work with ourselves from an African point of view? Often we're talking about revolution. How many of us would be able to define a revolution? How many of us have taken the time to even wonder, what is a revolution? Often in history books, and they are history books, they only give us the point of view and contributions of the hymns. So those books already are have a major problems since generally women are between 52 to 63% in proportion to men in any society. So when you only tell me what the men did, your history is already false. On top of it, you don't talk about what the two children did. You do not talk about what the elders did. You do not often don't talk about what the civilians did. You stick to what a few military hierarchy. And that's supposed to be the history. We take a history of a particular period, we're going to hear Napoleon. He had 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 troops with him. How can it be Napoleon? So we have to learn to question whatever we are reading, whatever information is coming to us. Inner revolution. How many of us know what is inner? What is your inner self? How many of you are in there? Somebody wants to give me a number? When you're thinking in terms of your inner self, you know, oh, I made this reflection about myself. I wanted to decide what to do, so I thought about it. And how many of you were in that reflection? Yes, ma'am?
About 6.
You have 6. Who else? Yes?
I would say hundreds. Are we going from lifetime to lifetime?
Ooh, sister got it.
Clap for the sister, please.
Yes.
The Bombara people say the people inside the person are numerous in the person. The people inside the person are numerous in the person. So we have to be aware, when you say I am thinking, you're already lying to yourself. And that's why often we say, okay, we want to buy something. I want the lavender oil. Oh no, but let me take the peppermint. Oh no. Oh, this one is so much better. The rose. It's all the various folks in there. They each have a different opinion. So if you're unaware, you have multiple possibilities in your inner self, then you say, oh, I'm confused. You're not confused. Have a real conversation with all of them. And then come to an agreement. But if you're thinking it's only I, you're saying, well, how come I can't make up my mind? Okay? So inside of us, we have this whole population that we need to be aware of and take into consideration in everything that we're doing. So that's for inner. Inner is many. Inner is a lot. Okay? Revolution. Now they say that the earth rotates on itself. And what does it do around the sun?
Rotate.
It revolves around the sun. So it does a revolution around the sun. But on itself, it rotates. So when they're talking about time, for example, and they say, well, it's 5 GMT time, and it's 6 such and such time, and it's 9 the other time. What are they talking about? Mm-hmm.
Pretty much there is no time. It's just a way of human beings staying on the same course. Like, I need to be able to relate to you, but time really doesn't exist. We just need to know what, so if it's 1 o'clock for you, it's 2 o'clock for me. We just need to coordinate, but really there is no time.
Yes, we can look at it that way. But we can also look at it from the point of view of the numerous cells in the earth. When one cell is at noon. The other self is at 6 p.m. And when we're talking about diversity, makes the motion of life. All and justice is that everyone will have their chance to be at noon. We're not gonna be at noon at the same time. But you got your noon, I got my chance for noon, she's got her chance for noon. Okay? But we all on the same planet. So don't look at anything, just swallow it the way they give it to you. Question it. And 4 words are key in guiding us in our lives and guiding us in revolutions. Freedom. Does somebody tell the earth, hey, stop, don't go noon now. Wait a minute. No, the earth decides. The sun decides for itself. The moon decides. They all are functioning with freedom. The birds, the people, the fish, the plants, they have their cycle. Such and such seeds goes into the earth. It might take 3 months to grow before you can see, oh, there's a plant here. Another seed may take 7 years before it comes out. You might die. And nobody know that you planted this particular bamboo tree there. Then 7 years later, it starts to grow. And it usually is the tallest bamboo, the one that takes the longest time to shoot out. So we have to understand life is everything in life. But all those things function with the same regulations, the same principles. Freedom is number 1. Have you questioned whether you are free or not? Have you thought what freedom means to you? Do you know when someone is invading your freedom, blocking it, controlling it, stopping it? Most animals know when you come to invade their space, their freedom, and they will fight. How come we claim to be the most advanced life form? And what do we know about freedom? Thank you, sis. Yes, we don't know very much at all. We don't even know. When, for example, if I say I'm a very trending woman, hey, yes, I got the right word. I am trending, okay? I dress according to what they say is the latest fashion. My jewelry is the latest that they say everybody should have. My bag, I am trending. That means what? I don't choose what I'm wearing.
I follow.
I go along with what they say I should wear. I don't choose how I fix my hair. I do whatever they claim I should be doing. Where is my freedom? Word number 2, health. How much do you control your health? How much do you determine what is good for you? Or do you use those people who you do whatever, without thinking, eat whatever, drink whatever, breathe whichever, do anything, and then, oh, I'm sick, I better go to the doctor. What's wrong with you? I don't know. I'm going to the doctor will tell me. Hey, isn't that your body?
Mm-hmm.
Where is your freedom? Health. There's a big trick in health. What is health? Health is when everything in the body is working in a balanced way. The heart beats at a certain speed. The blood circulates the way it's supposed to. Your breathing, your lungs, everything is doing what they're supposed to do the way they're supposed to do it. But the minute there is imbalance, oh, the doctor said, my heart is now beating 20% faster than it's supposed to. If your heart is beating faster, what happened to your circulation? What happened to elimination? What happens to the digestive system? What happens? It affects everything. So, we have a responsibility to take care of, to do justice to our body. So health is the word for biological justice. And justice is the word for social health. So if I'm in a society where most of the people who look like me are placed in a situation where they have to live in unclean neighborhood. In this neighborhood, they pick up the garbage 3 times a week. In my neighborhood, they pick it up every other week. Is it that I am dirty, or is it that something is established? So my neighborhood is going to look a certain way. You see, we don't take anything for granted. We question everything. So health and justice are synonymous. Third word, prosperity. Every living being is supposed to live in prosperity. Nobody has come on this earth to live in poverty or underdevelopment or whatever word they choose to create. The fact is, development, prosperity are natural ways of life. Any people living anywhere, one day, let's say this sees the plant corn. They look at the corn. They've never seen it before, so they may not know if they can eat it or what they can do with it, etc. But after a while, somebody will be daring enough to test it. Let me see if we could boil it. Let me see if I could fry it. Let me see if I could grill it, whatever. And soon, we have 10 ways of eating corn. We have 20 ways of eating corn because different people took the risk of testing. So, once upon a time, we saw corn and didn't do anything with it. Today, we have 20 different meals that we prepare with corn. Isn't that progress? Of course, it's progress. And the same could be done with any plant. So, as human beings live around everything else that exists, plants, animals, etc., we are enriched by the presence of the other life forms there. And we should enrich the life of the other life forms here. But is that the way this world is going? When a society decides to destroy a forest and put blocks and buildings, do you know how many millions of medicine is lost? How many millions of food is lost? How many millions and millions and millions of life forms are destroyed? But don't worry, life always survives. Because we don't want that behavior of destroying massively any kind of life form. But just look at one example. That brother over here loves mangoes. And he sat here in the yard, he ate 5 mangoes, one behind the other. and he tossed the seed in the yard. And we all got up and left, and we didn't return to this yard until about 3-6 months later. What are we going to see?
Mangoes.
We're going to see mango trees. This sister ate her mango and took the seed, dig a hole, bury the seed, put some dirt over it, put some water, took care of it, and she has a mango tree too. But even when we don't take care of it like she did, we can still have mango trees for the next generation. Now, a society that wants to make mangoes seedless, grapes seedless, bananas seedless, whatever else seedless. What is their plan?
To starve us out.
Thank you. That's a program for famine.
Yes.
You need the seed so the next generation will have it. And these people are removing the seed from everything. And now, even in us too, they're going to tell all the women, we're going to take the eggs, we're going to put it in the freezer. We're going to take the sperm from the brothers and put it in the freezer. So when one of you would like to have a child, come and buy from me. I have a sperm bank.
Wow.
I have seed bank. You people starving over there? You'd like to get some rice? I got seed bank. But do you have the money? You see how this thing is going?
Yes.
So, with that kind of mentality, people create poverty. Though the natural way of life is abundance. Freedom, health, abundance. What is the last one? The fourth word?
Power.
Power. If you have no freedom and very limited health, can you produce abundance? And if you are not healthy and don't produce abundance,
You have no power.
can you have any power? So when we talk about inner revolution, we're talking about people who take the time to think of essential elements of life. Not talk about details. We're going to argue, no, we shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not worth it. Let this go. We're going to do an argument. Let's do it about something essential. Does it bring freedom to our people? Does it enable our people to be healthy? Does it enable our people to be prosperous? And therefore, can we build power from this action? When we're dealing with details, we're wasting time. When we trending, we're not free. When we're doing everything from an appearance point of view, we're not going forward. Because all I have to do, when I notice this sister, I could just take a little bell. Whenever I ring the bell like that, everybody does whatever it is that I have conditioned them to do. I could make all of you jump if I have conditioned you. Every time you everybody jump. The same thing they do to rats and chicken, they do to people. And unless you have a strong conversation with your inner selves, you are well aware that within you, you have a world. The entire cosmos lives in you. There is nothing you want to know that you cannot know. of school you need to go? Why you go to school? Why you go after a degree? Because the system is set up that if you have a degree, if you have a certificate, if you have a blah, 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 then you can have a better job. You can earn more money. But does that money bring you freedom? Are you aware that in this society, this brother is working for Coca-Cola? He signed a contract. He has a big job, $200,000 a year. But he signed a contract that he will never drink Pepsi in his life. If they find that he had one can of Pepsi, he loses the job. That's freedom. And he's a big time guy with a huge salary. But he can't decide what he wants to drink. Same thing with like car dealers. If you work with this car dealer, you have to drive this particular car. You can't drive another one. It's part of the contract. So this is, we have to recognize, when you are in a slave mentality society, if you are aware of that, you will find ways to free yourself. But if you think you're in a democratic society, then they will tie you in every single way. And you will be totally unaware. There are some keywords that I'm going to suggest that each one of us take the time to think. I may define some, and I may leave you free to find your own definition for others. All of us should know force. How to recognize force, whether physical or otherwise. All of us should know power and know the difference between force and power. And I can state absolutely categorically, there are no powerful country in this world today. None. Though you may use that word to qualify some of them, there are none. There are forceful countries in this world today. I can come to your country or talk to your head of states and tell them, if you don't do that, I will bomb your country. That's not power. That is force. I could do like the United States did in December 1914, come send the Marines in Haiti and stole the entire gold reserve of the nation. That is force, not power. We must know the difference between force and power. And if we're not clear about those two, you always will be taken in a trick, because you will be confused. Power works with laws, and power works with conviction. I can convince you, I can have the power to convince you, and you make the choice to work with me. But if I pull my gun and say, okay, you all there, donate to Fondation Félicité right now. I have no power. I'm using force to make you do what I want you to do. So we must know the difference. When you go to church and the church says, you don't do this, you go to hell. What are they doing? Using fear to force you into something. So we must learn to recognize this. We must be clear. Where is force? Where is power? There is a third word in that family. There is puissance. It's rarely used in English, but it does exist. Force generally is imposing something with physical or psychological or whatever force you want to use to make it happen. Power, you have the ability to convince, and it respects the laws of nature. So even if you create a law, it's a law that is in harmony with the laws of nature, with power. With puissance, you don't even have to think about it. The one with puissance make things happen. For example, we are created to breathe, eat, eliminate, move, function, etc. Do we know how they programmed us to do all that? This body doing billions of things a minute, that's puissance. But none of us is making it happen. It happens. Okay? The earth, all the astro, all this stuff in the cosmos, doing everything they got to do, and aligning each other, or sometimes threatening each other. That's puissance. We don't, no human determine this is going to go down. But we can learn from observing them how it works. And we might be able to use some of it. We have three things to function with as humans. We have our thoughts, we have words, and we have actions. When I think something in my head, how many of you know what I'm thinking? It's all mine. Me and all the ones who live in here. We know about this deal. If I want to share with you, what will I do?
Speaking.
I will use words for us to show. Oh, I could put it in a song, I could put it in a poem, I could, dance. There are many ways. But I will express it. And then, the only way we can have a valid action is after you guys hear what I said and it resonates in you, you agree to it, then if all of us get up here together and go do A, B, C, D, that's when action has value. The thought may come from one person, the words may come from one or two folks, but for the action to be beneficial to the collective, we need to be numerous to do it. And the best example we have of that is in the animal world. An ant weighs less than, I don't know, whatever pound or kilometer or kilogram or whatever. Weighs hardly anything, right? Let's say that a cockroach weighs 1 milligram. How many ants do they need to carry this cockroach from here to there? And we can see ants carrying a cockroach. We can see ants carrying a bird. We can see ants carrying a mouse. They have the ability, they know about their reality. I am tiny, 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 tiny. So, the family needs this cockroach. Let me send out the sound. And let the other, we need 10,000 ants to carry this cockroach home. So they come, they collect it, and they carry it together. Can't we use that principle? That's what people do. When an army is, a country is saying, we have an army of 100,000 reserve men, we have an army of 3 million, whatever, infantry, blah, 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 blah. Well, they could say to the 3 million, whatever, 200,000, well, invade this country, take their land. That's the principle that's being applied. That's what armies and all structures. So you see, ants and us There are so many lessons we can learn from any living form. So we see action. But if you are you gonna we're just gonna get up here and say, okay, let's run to the corner? No. If we're gonna do an action, what do we need? Thank you, ma'am. We must have a purpose. We must start first with an intention. We want to accomplish this. Then we define it into a purpose. Then we might break it down into objectives. First, we're gonna get up. 2, we're gonna fold the chairs. 3, we're gonna step outside. Blah, 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 blah. We have the various objectives, all the way to what we want. Anything we want to do, we must have the intention. That's the most powerful thing. That which no one can see. Your intention. But for the intention to materialize, you must give it attention. Intention with no attention goes nowhere. Yeah, we're gonna go to the corner. Do you agree? How many people agree with me? We're gonna go to the corner. Alright. I got 2 or 3 who wants to go to the corner. But we're gonna sit here anyway. We'll go after I drink my tea. We'll go after she gets some orange. We'll go after the brother here. Check out a nice lady we saw. Are we nourishing our intention with attention? No. Once you have an intention, you must nourish it with attention. Every day you wake up, if you say you want to find a job, then the first thought in the morning, yes, I want to find a job. Before you get out of bed, I want to work in a bank. I want to have no less than this as a salary. I want to, these are all the elements of that you're putting together to build the attention, the attention and turn it into a reality. No attention, I'm looking for a job. Oh yes, last week I applied, I applied in some bank, I don't remember the name, but maybe I won't do a bank after all. Maybe I'll go to the theater next week. Wait a minute. Do you know what you want? No, you gotta be clear. You want this and you're gonna work on it first with your thoughts. Don't share the information with anyone that's not gonna do anything for you. You're gonna talk to the brother about you looking for the job because you think this brother has some connections. But don't go tell, I'm looking for a job at the bank. I'm looking for a job at the, he doesn't know anything about banks, about jobs, he's not even working, hasn't worked in 10 years. How can he help you get a job? You only speak your intention with people who can help you materialize your intention. Otherwise, keep it inside of you and talk to all of them in there. So they all agree you must get that job. Build the inner communication. Every morning you wake up, I gotta have a job. I gotta have it. Yeah, I'm gonna have this job. Oh, sure, I got my job. You work on what you want inside yourself. Use your thoughts, your intention, all your invisible power to make things happen.
Facts.
Intention. What do we do? We nourish our intention with?
Attention.
Attention. Yes, indeed. Now, after our circles, we all have a natural circle of power. The first circle is the family circle. I don't talk to my sister. My mother, she was so, I haven't spoken to her since I went to college. I think I have 4 or 5 cousins in New York, but I don't know. I don't understand these women. You know what you're telling me? You are weak. You have no root. You are destroying the earth and the water that should help you grow. So what? Your cousin made an unpleasant comment about this or that. That was her thing at that moment. Move on. Family is the brick with which we build nations. So we must strive to keep the family. In fact, you can look at the family as your first enterprise. Let me give you an example. You see Japanese? People are saying, oh, look at how Japan is doing blah, 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 blah. Okay. You see this business? I don't talk to my cousin or my uncle. Not allowed. When you are 14, 15 in Japan, Japanese person, you must make a plan for when you turn 18, when you finish high school. You must start your plan at 14, 15. And that plan tells us, you want to go to college, the college you are hoping to go to is about, cost this much. While in college, you'll need 4 pairs of shoes, you'll need so many shirts, pants, blah, 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 blah. The budget is this much for you to go to school. That information is shared in the family. Auntie says she'll pay for all the shoes, or half of the shoes you need. This uncle is gonna pay for blah, blah, blah. This one is gonna do this, that one is gonna do that, godparents, etc., etc. So when you turn 18, your gifts comes from your plan. And you clear what you want to do. And you have the support. The first force in you is the family force. Family can also include friends, people that you've known for a long time, went to high school, whatever, etc. So family, friends is your second round. Adversaries. Everybody has adversaries. If you say, I have no adversary, you a fool. You're just unaware who they are. You must know them. They exist. People can hate you because you're tall. The other one detests you because you're too short. That one hates you because you're too dark. The other one doesn't like you because you're too light. So you don't even have to say anything to have adversaries. They're just there. But are you aware? That's what you want to do. You have to be conscious. They exist, and if I am observant enough, I will see my adversaries. At least some of them will become clear. And then we have enemies. Now, enemies you usually don't have to look for. They are clear, and they make their stands, and they identify themselves. So actually, I like them better. I don't have to go look for them. I'm clear. That's an enemy. Okay? So, these words, force, power, presumption, thoughts, words, actions, purpose, intention, attention, family, friend, adversaries, enemies, are keywords. Now, when you're having your inner conversation, you must be clear what they mean to you, what they are, how they are used in society, and how, when you're dealing with anyone, you know where you stand. There's a word I didn't put there, an ally. That's a very important word as well. An ally is not a friend. Don't mix them up. An ally, I'm going to go into business, and Brother Cameron is coming in business with me. He is an ally. He's not my friend. There are people with whom you can do certain things, Okay? Once we do, as long as that business exists, he and I will see each other quite often. At the end of the week, we're going to count the money, we're going to share the profit, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. He is not my friend. I am not his friend. We are allies. We have agreed to do specific things together. And generally, we should try to avoid mixing things. Just because we are allies, now we are lovers. No. You can't jump into things like that. Okay? Let's keep it for what it is. So, once you have these words worked out for yourself, you're clear, then you can make plans. And until your plan has a certain shape, a certain form, not to share it with others. So many times people say, oh yeah, I was about to do blah, 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 and then Bayyinah came, I told her about it. Next thing I know, Bayyinah opened the store. You didn't have any money to open a store, you didn't have a locale, you didn't have any product. I had a locale that was empty. I didn't know what to do with it. And then when I spoke to you, you gave me the whole idea of what to do. So I moved on. That's it. I didn't plan, I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't, okay, I see an opportunity.
Right.
Okay? The only thing, I should have been honest and tell you, you know what, Dr. Ya, that idea you and I spoke the other day, I think it's brilliant. I'm going to move on it. She wants to get it rid of her business, but I was honest. Okay? But when I didn't say anything to her and then went, and then when next time she walked by here and she said, huh? Bayyinah, that's what I told her I was going to do. That will hurt. Okay? So let's try to be honest. Honesty is part of justice. So it's important to do that. So, I believe we have gone around and looked at how to deal with our inner self. If you do not have these keywords clear in your mind, can you talk about revolution?
No.
You don't know this.
Yeah. You could blah blah the word,
The sound.
but you can't actually do anything that would look like a revolution. Especially when you have no clue what is force, what is power, what is freedom. You could be all chained up and you think you're free. I will close with an example of, how would I call it? Health, we said earlier, is justice, okay? So life, as we observe it, is all about balancing, okay? If everything is balanced in the body, you're healthy. If the society is built with laws and regulations that balance so all the citizens can enjoy freedom, health, justice, prosperity, power. Because everything that exists, we saw how the ant has power. So it's not human beings that should be without power. So when another human can have this concept of enslaving entire populations, how could we trust this person to have an inkling of justice? When a group of humans can genocide entire populations, what concept or perception of justice do they own? So we have to be clear. It's very, very important for us to understand so that anytime, even in personal relationships, you're married to this lady, and you say, well, that's my wife, you can't do this, you can't do that, You can't move. Don't wear red. I don't like it. Oh. I existed before I married you. And I will exist after I'm no longer married to you.
Right.
How could I give you permission to put such chains on my life? Now, if he's a powerful brother, he's not going to come to you that way, not like a bully. And say, no, that's my wife, you can wear red. Say, look, when you were blue, you're so gorgeous. I love it when you were green. So you buy more blue dresses. Because your husband like it. But if he is a bully using force, it's going to be a different story. You can't accept that. Okay? So we have to learn to recognize everything that is used in a law, in politics, are rules of life. And if a rule, a law, does not promote freedom, justice, prosperity, power, it's not for me. Whether on the individual basis or social basis, we have to identify these and make intelligent, discerning choices. I thank you for your attention. In the name of all those who walked the planet Earth before us, and all those who will continue to walk on our planet Earth, after we have gladly transitioned, I call graces and blessing on each one. Thank you.
So this program is not over, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna take a short intermission. Listen, support the vendors who are in here right now. I know we've got Brother Chris DeCastro with the delicious ital Haitian food over there. We got, listen, if I don't know everybody's name, you gotta shout yourself out, okay, represent yourself. I think we got P1 Health in the building, P1's in the building, right? Make some noise, sister. So they know, okay, so they know where to find you. Okay, we got sister over here. Hello. Who are you? Where you at? Huh? What's the business name, sister? Lovely Leo in the house, okay? Lovely Leo in the house. We have any other vendors in the house right now? Oh, we got Sister Kafunya, of course. Sister Kafunya in the back with the crystals, the organite. We got Brother Coconut Rob over there making up that delicious ital soup. Oh, no more ital soup?
No, sir.
Oh, man, you snooze, you lose in Nicholas, all right, ladies and gentlemen? So look, we're gonna take a little break right now. We're gonna put on a little music, bathroom break, food break. Please go to the vendors, meet and greet somebody, give somebody a hug, shake hands with somebody that you never met before, introduce yourself to somebody, okay? This is how we create family, this is how we create community, and we will come back shortly to conclude this program.